Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm back with some more updates coming out from the war between Russia and Ukraine, and I have tons of huge news to share with you guys. So, the last 12 hours inside of Russia have been very loud and explosive for many of the residents. I have so much information to go over with you guys today in regards to attacks. I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll start with what you see here on your screen, which is a major missile attack that was reported just earlier this morning in Russia. Okay, we can see on your screen Ukraine attacks Taganrog in Russia's Rostov region with missiles. I will show you guys this video. It is absolutely action packed with multiple hits and strikes in this area. Reports that potentially a metallurgical plant in the town of Taganrog, which is in the Rostov region of Russia, could have been the target here. And a metallurgical plant primarily used to produce metals, and apparently also like they could be producing panels for armored vehicles. Lots of armored metal is produced at this plant, obviously in connection with Russia's military, which is why Ukraine targeted this building. So that's potentially what we are seeing being attacked here. But we don't have official confirmation coming out just yet. This information is literally just breaking in the last hour at the time that I record this. And originally, I was going to share some information coming out from overnight as we had drones also attacking the Rostov region. We have reports of two other military plants that were attacked as well. One of them specializing in the production of helicopters, another one repairing armored vehicles. Okay, so lots of military facilities being attacked overnight. We even have reports of missiles flying into Crimea. So it looks like Ukraine was just launching all-out attacks everywhere. Drones were even flying into the Voronezh region last night, the Kursk region, Bryansk region, just everywhere, guys. Belgorod region. We're just having reports of attacks everywhere. So I just have so much information to go over with you guys today. I want to go ahead and just start jumping right into this and start sharing these details with you guys. And then we're going to have lots of other things to be discussing in this video as well. But just real quick on your screen here, I put Russian air defense systems are repelling a Ukrainian missile attack in the Rostov region of southern Russia. Local governor Yuri Slyuzar said on Wednesday. Okay, so again, as far as I know, this just happening earlier this morning. So let's go ahead and jump into this, guys. So again, this information just barely starting to break, so we're having to jump over to Al Arabia News, and they're reporting this. Okay, so Russia repels missile attack in Rostov region, governor says. Okay, so not too many sources are talking about this missile attack just yet, as it's literally just starting to break right now on X. I will show you guys the information over there as well. Russian air defense systems are repelling a Ukrainian missile attack in the Rostov region of southern Russia. Local Governor Yuri Slyuzar said on Wednesday, 3 out of 4 missiles fired were shot down, and according to preliminary data, there were no casualties, Slyuzar said on Telegram. Okay, so they're claiming they shot down majority of these. We're also hearing that something like 10 missiles were fired into the Rostov region, also targeting Taganrog. And we were hearing that some of the sources down there in Russia were claiming that all missiles were shot down. But I'm going to show you guys some video footage here in just a little bit that shows clearly direct strikes inside of Taganrog, okay? And it's this video right here, but I'll show it with you. I'll show it to you, excuse me, with sound, okay? So now we're going to hop on over to a map just for a moment. Let me show you guys where Taganrog's located. Now, I want to say it was just about a week ago that we talked about this city being targeted with ATACMS, and I think we had an airbase over here that was targeted as well just last week. So now, as far as I know, a metallurgical plant being attacked in Taganrog, okay? So we're going to zoom in down here to the Rostov region, very close to Ukraine's border right here, not too far away, and just over here near the Black Sea, or the Sea of Azov here. Here's the Sea of Azov, and Taganrog is right over here, okay? Not too far away from Rostov-on-Don. Here is Taganrog, okay? So we had reports again here last week of an attack at an airfield, which I believe would have been this one right here. Being targeted last week. So I don't think it was attacked again today, but we do have a metallurgical plant being struck here in this city today. Okay, so again, here's where it's at. Southwestern Russia in the Rostov region. And just for reference, as we talk about these drone attacks, here's the Voronezh region that was attacked. Belgorod, Kursk, and also Bryansk, okay? So these other 4 regions reportedly being attacked by drones overnight. We're not really sure exactly what was hit up in these areas or what the targets were, But we do have a lot of information for you guys regarding the Rostov region down here that was attacked today with Ukrainian missiles. Okay, so let's hop on over to X now and let me start showing you guys the video footage coming out from here. So we have this from Nexta. Breaking explosions were heard in the Russian city of Taganrog. Smoke and fire were noticed in the area of a metallurgical plant. Propagandists claim that the Rostov region was allegedly attacked by 10 ATACMS missiles, and all of them were shot down. Okay, so that's what they were claiming. All these ATACMS missiles were shot down. So again, so many different conflicting reports. Some saying they're Storm Shadows, some saying they're ATACMS. I think it was probably a little bit of everything. Maybe even some Palynitsia drones or Peklo drones could have been used to attack this area as well. So let's go ahead and start with this first video here. Very action-packed video. Take a look. All right, so massive panic by these innocent bystanders checking out these incoming missiles. You can see all the streaks in the airs too, probably from some of the air defense missiles that were fired from the Russians also. But definitely looks like multiple strikes in this area, at least 3 or 4, I would say, recorded just right here. You can hear all of them. You can see 1, 2, and then just the camera pans this way, it comes back. You can see another explosion soon after. So I'd say at least 3 or 4 direct strikes in this area. Here's that other one right there, and that's very close by, probably just 100 yards away or less. So very insane video to show you guys right there. We've got one more coming up. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but I will show you guys a little bit of it, okay?
Сбивают. Работает. Сколько ракет летит, а? Что творится? Вижу. Много ракет.
All right, so we'll go ahead and pause this right here. So this was somebody else in the area of Taganrog also catching what appears to be maybe some of the interceptors that had exploded up here in the skies, or maybe some of these missiles did get taken down. It's possible maybe Russia took down a few of these. So this was just somebody capturing the aftermath of after they heard these explosions going off in the city of Taganrog and Rostov, okay? So very crazy situation over here, guys. Let's jump on over to another video from Military News UA. They report that 5 ATACMS missiles are attacking the Milerovo airfield in the Rostov region, according to Russian monitors. Now, this information, I was not able to completely confirm this. This is the only source so far that I've seen sharing this information, saying the Milerovo airfield in the Rostov region was being attacked. So I think it is possible that maybe we could have had another airfield in the Rostov region attacked with missiles, as we just saw that happen, like I said, last week in Taganrog. But that's being reported today from Military News UA. I'll wait for more information on that. If we get confirmation, I will give you guys an update in a later video. And it says here, and in the video, a missile towards Crimea. Explosions were already heard there. Okay, so we've got a short 4-second clip that's going to show what appears to be some sort of cruise missile. I'm thinking is maybe a Storm Shadow missile or something else, maybe one of these Peklo drones. I'm not really sure what it is, but it definitely looks like a cruise missile. Take a look at this. All right, so looking closely, it kind of looks like it could be one of these drones that Ukraine has, either Palynitsia or Peklo. I'm not sure. Maybe it is a Storm Shadow, but there was some sort of missile or rocket drone heading towards Crimea as well. Now, I don't have any official confirmation of what was attacked down there, but we do know that Crimea has been attacked a lot over the last few days here. In the last week or so, we've been seeing lots of drone attacks and missiles headed that direction. So again, more crazy information. So now I want to show you guys some of the information coming out regarding these drone attacks overnight and what exactly was targeted. So we have this report here from Euromaidan Press. Ukrainian drones strike Rostov Oblast, targeting key military facilities. According to Russian Defense Ministry, 2 other drones reportedly were intercepted over Belgorod Oblast and 1 each over Bryansk and Kursk. Okay, so multiple oblasts in Russia being targeted here. As we stated earlier, drones attacked Russia's Rostov Oblast with 3 or 4 loud explosions heard in the city overnight on December 18th, according to Russian Telegram channels. It says down here, Andriushenko, former advisor to the mayor of Mariupol, said that the fire was recorded on the territory of the Rostov plant in Rostov Oblast. This facility in particular modernizes and repairs armored vehicles. Debris reportedly also fell in the area of the Rosvertol, if I'm saying that right, Rosvertol plant, which specializes in helicopter manufacturing. According to Petro Andriushenko, the fact that the Russian Ministry of Defense did not mention Rostov-on-Don at all is evidence that it hit exactly where it needed to, and the consequences are such that it's better to stay silent about them. So that's typically what we see a lot from the Russians. If they do stay quiet about certain attacks, it usually means there was a direct hit. Okay, the Russian Defense Ministry later claimed to have intercepted 4 Ukrainian drones. 2 drones reportedly were intercepted over Belgorod Oblast and 1 each over Bryansk and Kursk Oblast. In a separate incident in the Voronezh Oblast, acting head of Rostov district, Bereznev, said that Russian air defense forces in the district detected and destroyed 2 Ukrainian UAVs. There were reportedly no casualties or destruction. Okay, so that's what's coming out in regards to these drone attacks that were reported overnight. And I do have some videos to show you guys as well on X of some of these drone attacks. So this is from LX Summer 1. Rostov, Russia, loud tonight. 3 explosion sounds were recorded by a camera at Selmash. Air defense worked beforehand, according to local Telegram channels. We got 23-second clip. You're going to hear multiple explosions of Ukrainian UAVs in the background. Take a look at this. All right, so in this camera video or this camera feed, sounds like we're hearing multiple explosions in the background, potentially direct strikes on facilities over here in the Rostov region. And who knows, maybe some of these drones were taken down. That could also be what we're hearing there in the background. But for sure, some explosions being recorded over here. So again, in Selmash, okay, in Rostov, Russia. Okay, now moving on to another update from Alex Summer 1 again, Rostov region, Russia. Locals report 3 to 4 explosions in Rostov tonight. This sounds was heard at Selmash and in Alexandrovka. Between the explosions, air defense systems activated over Rostov, monitoring channels report. So I turned this up as loud as I can for you guys, a 15-second clip of what sounds like multiple drones flying in the background, but you're not going to hear any explosions. It looks like a lot of drones were targeting this area last night. Take a look. All right, so we got some evidence here of multiple drones in the background that we can hear flying into the Rostov region. Just thought I'd show you guys that real quick. All right, moving on to another update now from Max24 from the Voronezh region and Russia. Okay, so we got 2 videos to show you guys here also of some attacks happening in the Voronezh region. Now, we don't know, again, what was exactly targeted over here, but we've got this video will show like an interception. We've got another video here to show you guys as well. So let's jump into these.
Бах, нахуй, есть, блядь.
Ой-ой-ой, господи, да что ж такое?
Вот то, блядь, нахуй. Бах, нахуй, есть, блядь.
Okay, so we can see air defense teams active over here in the Voronezh region trying to take down incoming drones to this area. That's what we're seeing here in this video after this major UAV drone attack from Ukraine. One more video coming up. All right, this video appears to show a direct interception from Russia's air defense teams taking down an incoming UAV from Ukraine just over this person's house. Kind of scary to see that there. Okay, all right, moving on to another update now from Anton Gerashenko. Foreign Minister of Australia, Penny Wong, has arrived in Kiev today. Welcome, Senator Wong. Grateful to the people and government of Australia for standing with Ukraine. It also matters to Australia and all in our region because the security in this part of the world in Europe affects also our security in the Indo-Pacific. North Korean fighters fighting for Russia, sign of Russia's escalation and Russia's desperation. We are deeply concerned about what North Korea is getting for this assistance, whether or not Russia will be assisting North Korea in its illegal nuclear industry, which would be a breach of the UN Charter and would destabilize and be dangerous for so much of the world, Mrs. Wong told SBS News. Okay, so that was a statement coming out today. It's essentially the same thing she's going to mention here in this video, so there's no point really showing that to you guys. But we did have the Foreign Minister of Australia, Penny Wong, arriving in Kiev today to meet with Volodymyr Zelensky. So lots of visits recently from many Western countries heading over to Ukraine, if you've been noticing, almost every single day. Okay, moving on to another update from Military News UA. Europe may send up to 100,000 troops to Ukraine, according to Reuters. Such a proposal will be considered in the event of a ceasefire or peace. The basis of the contingent could be a coalition of 5 to 8 countries, including Germany, France, Italy, Britain, and Poland. Okay, so we're starting to hear more information regarding European troops being placed into Ukraine once a ceasefire is put into place or some sort of freeze of the war. We don't know exactly what's going to happen yet, but we're hearing more information that looks like some NATO members will be willing to send a coalition of military troops over to Ukraine to protect the new demilitarized zone or whatever gets formed over there once this war comes to an end and a ceasefire gets put in place. Okay, some new information coming out from there. Also from Noel reports, Zelensky, Ukraine can't regain Donbass and Crimea by force, but we won't give up these territories. Our constitution forbids us from surrendering them. De facto, these are areas are controlled by Russia, and only international diplomatic pressure can push Putin to the negotiating table. So I'm not sure why Zelensky's been coming out and saying this a lot lately. This is probably the third time I've seen this over the last few days of him repeatedly coming out and saying they cannot regain the Donbass and Crimea by force, that it's going to require diplomatic pressure on Russia. I mean, we're seeing major strikes in Russia recently with missiles, so I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about, is maybe, putting Russia in a horrible position where they feel like maybe they need to pull out of Ukraine. Maybe they can no longer hold it militarily. I'm not sure if that's what Ukraine is potentially thinking down the road here. But obviously, if we have a ceasefire, then they may not be able to achieve that other than through diplomatic means. So I just wanted to show you guys that, as we've been seeing Volodymyr Zelensky speaking about this quite a bit over the last few days, okay? Moving on to another update from Noel reports in Sochi. Russia, the Karota River overflowed, flooding homes. Power outages hit some areas while lots of roads are underwater. So it looks like we had a major environmental disaster over here with a river overflowing in Sochi, Russia. This is down in the Black Sea, close to the Krasnodar region, okay? So take a look at this. All right, so I'm not sure if this is due to the extreme weather that's been going on down here in the Black Sea, but we've been reporting that 3 oil tankers that are carrying fuel for Russia, some of their shadow fleet, their tankers have been sinking over in the Black Sea due to rough waves and extreme storms. So it's probably what's going on here as well in Sochi. Is kind of the same area. So potentially we're having an overflow of one of their major rivers over there due to the extreme weather is most likely what I'm thinking here. So sad situation for the residents there. Also for Jay in Kiev, the worsening oil spill Russians just caused on the Black Sea has no solution, given that all resources and personnel are already allocated to destroying Ukraine. Russians only know how to destroy. So we have a new video coming out from most likely Anapa, which is a touristic city, a beach city, very close to like the Rostov region. And this beach got covered in sludge, okay, from all this oil that got washed up on the shores after these oil tankers were sinking from over the weekend. I think we had a third one yesterday that was just starting to sink. I haven't heard official confirmation, but it might have by now. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video. It's some of the locals here cleaning up the toxic oil here on the beach. Take a look at this. All right, very horrible situation over here with these oil tankers that have sunk recently. We can see the residents of this town having to come to the beach themselves and clean up all this oil that has washed up on the shore. Okay, so again, very bad environmental disaster that has taken place over here in the Black Sea, probably one of the worst in decades. Okay, also from Special Kherson Cat, a double-decker passenger train collided with a freight train in the Murmansk region, Russia. The accident occurred near the Kovda station. The passenger train was traveling on Murmansk's St. Petersburg route. Okay, so we got new pictures coming out of another collision of two trains, passenger train and a freight train colliding in the Murmansk region of Russia. Okay, so I want to say we just reported one of these not too long ago that we had another collision between two trains. This is a very big problem in Russia, guys. We've talked about probably more than 20 of these events where trains are either derailing or crashing into each other or something like that. We just had a Russian military transport vehicle, I think it's called a Ural or URAL, crashing into a passenger bus that was full of wounded Russian soldiers. Okay, we just had that happening the other day. Now we got a freight train and a passenger train colliding with each other as well. So these are some of the pictures coming out from that area showing the wreckage. So horrible accident here to report also in the Murmansk region of Russia. All right, now we're going to talk about this another oil tanker in regards to these ones that have been sinking in the Black Sea. Okay, so we've got this report here from Anton Yushchenko. The fourth Russian tanker in a week has broken down near the Kuril Islands. The Mercury tanker with a crew of 19 people lost in the course in the Pacific Ocean due to the main engine stalling. The incident occurred 50 kilometers northeast of the island of Simushir, part of the Kuril Islands. The Russian Ministry of Emergency Situations reported, according to the ministry, the vessel sent a signal for help to the Marine Rescue Subcenter in the Petropavlovsk, Kamchatsky in the evening of December 17th. The Rubin rescue vessel was sent to the emergency tanker to tow it to the port. Before that, on the night of the December 16th, 17th, a distress signal was given by the Volganev 109 tanker, which was near the port of Kavkaz with 4,000 tons of fuel on board. The ship captain reported a breach of the seal of the fourth cargo tank and leakage of fuel oil, which got into the ballast tank. On December 15th, two tankers, Volganev 212 and Volganev 239, crashed in the Kerch Strait. One person died, 11 people were hospitalized in serious condition. According to preliminary information, more than 4.2 thousand cubic meters of oil products have fallen into the sea. These ships were carrying more than 9,000 cubic meters. As a result, dozens of kilometers of coastline in Russia's Krasnodar region were covered in fuel oil. In the Temursky and Anapa districts of the region, the authorities introduced a municipal level state of emergency. Okay, so pretty crazy, guys. Lots of these oil tankers having major issues, and could this be also due to Russia having to use these shadow fleets and they can't even maintain many of these vessels due to sanctions? We've heard of that as well. That's possibly why some of these were cracking and splitting in half and the engine stalling and burning out and not working. So lots of problems with Russia's shadow fleet all at the same time, while Europe is starting to heavily sanction and go after Russia's shadow fleet as well. Okay, so this could be a very big disaster for Russia very soon, as this is one of the only lifelines in terms of Russia selling their oil around the world. Okay, due to all these sanctions, their shadow fleet is really all they have, as far as I know, to really transport a lot of these oil products around the world. Okay, so big problem for Russia right now. So I also have an update for you guys regarding that Russian general that was eliminated yesterday. He was assassinated in Moscow. It says here from the BBC, Russia detains Uzbek man over general's killing in Moscow. This just coming out today. Russia's authorities say a 29-year-old man from Uzbekistan has been detained over the killing of Senior General Igor Kirillov and his assistant in Moscow. Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, head of the Radiation, Chemical, and Biological Protection Forces, was outside a residential block early on Tuesday when an explosive device hidden in an electric scooter was detonated remotely, the authorities say. Russia's investigative committee, SK, says the suspect, who has not been publicly named, has admitted he was recruited by Ukrainian special services. The SK provided no evidence to back its claim. Ukraine Security Service, SBU, had already claimed it was behind the killing, a source told the BBC. So it looks like they do have a suspect, a man from Uzbekistan, and looks like the authorities are investigating right now to see if maybe he has some sort of connection. So he's a 29-year-old man from Uzbekistan, okay, that is potentially involved with the killing of Senior General Igor Kirillov and his assistant yesterday in Moscow. Okay, so that was a new update regarding that. So now we're going to move on to this from Nexta. Overnight drone raid, 81 UAVs attacked Ukraine from Russia's border regions. Ukraine's Air Force reported that air defenses managed to destroy 51 drones. No hits were recorded, and there were no reports of damage or casualties, the statement said. Okay, so this just coming out today, December 18th, 2024. Here's a little diagram to show you guys 51 out of 81 UAVs being shot down. Some of them may be being lost due to electronic warfare as well, but looks like at least more than 50-60% of these were shot down overnight. So pretty major drone attack from Russia as well, 81 UAVs. Okay, also from Max 24, we've got a report here regarding Russian losses. We'll give you this daily update. Looks like 1,580 personnel, according to Ukraine, 4 tanks, 21 armored personnel vehicles, 5 artillery systems, and looks like we've got 60 vehicles and fuel tanks, 2 special equipment, and also 64 UAV operational tactical level. Okay, so more losses to report here that the Ukrainians are claiming taken out on the Russian side. And since some of you guys have been asking about, what is Russia reporting in terms of Ukraine's losses? Now, normally that's not really widely reported, but I do have some information to show you guys for some of you that do want to hear this information. From Clash Reports, Russian Chief of General Staff Valery Gerasimov claims that Ukrainian army has lost about 1 million people and about 20,000 tanks and armored vehicles since the beginning of the full-scale invasion. Okay, so we have Valery Gerasimov here claiming that Ukraine lost about 1 million people. Okay, so more than what Ukraine is claiming Russia has lost. It's kind of interesting because you would think that the defending side would have less casualties versus the attacking side. But that's what Gerasimov is claiming here, okay? So we've got another report also from Max 24. Gerasimov says AFU lost over 42,000 soldiers and more than 1,800 tanks and armored vehicles in the Kursk region. Okay, so him also coming out claiming of massive losses, especially 1,800 tanks and armored vehicles. That's a lot that he's claiming that the Ukrainians have lost in the Kursk region. Now, it's up to you guys if you want to believe that. You can let me know what you think down below, even with Ukraine's information, okay? Is Ukraine's information accurate? I guess there's no way to really know, but that's, for the most part, these are just estimates, or at least the information that's put out for all of us to know about. So I just wanted to share that with you since we did find some information finally regarding Russia's side in terms of Ukraine's losses in the war as well. So tons of big information today, and I'm sure we'll probably get more information and reports later on during the day regarding this missile attack and all these drones, what was being attacked, maybe even some videos showing direct hits and destruction of some facilities inside the Rostov region, which looks like was primarily attacked overnight with drones, and then also missiles again earlier this morning. So that's going to be it for today's update, though. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.